This is a video response to a video that was posted by No Playing TV, and it's a response to some of the points raised in this video, which was made back in 2006, I believe, or around that time, by BS Registration. And No Playing TV has decided to repost this, even though a lot of the points in this video have already been debunked quite some time back. So I'm just going to cover some of the points it outlays in the video and look at what's not correct, basically. So we'll just play the video here a little bit. So I'm going to stop it in various places just so we can see where we're situated. So whoever shot this video, apparently BS Registration or Peggy Carter, according to Ryan Rodriguez, what he said to me in his comments. We can see the ferry there, the ferry boat, which I believe that Michael Hezarkhani was on when he shot his video, and I'll explain more about that later, how I established that belief through evidence. So it's based on facts rather than just a belief, it's based on some evidence. So this video shot at ground level in Battery Park, and it's panning over and there's some trees in the way here, and they zoom in or sort of and put this overlay of the Michael Hezarkhani video over. And what they're trying to essentially say here is that the tree line should have been much taller in the Michael Hezarkhani video, and the fact that it's not obscuring the view of the Whitehall building, that it's a fake video basically, and the location doesn't exist. So I'll just carry on playing, and he looks sort of transparent, that is, overlay, and the trees are quite high, so it should be really obscuring according to them, which I disagree with. So just play the video again. So let me guess, those trees just sprang up in 5 years. Well, that's besides the point, as I'm going to demonstrate now. So we just let the video play. They're also concerned about lampposts at tree branches, and they're going to check whether the lampposts were there. So I'm just going to run this along. They use a couple of photos, which is this one. Yep. There's a lamppost there, trees, and this building and that building was there, which I'll discuss as we go through the video. I'll mention that. So I'll mention it now actually. The beige building is 19 Rector Street. The building C&M forgot. So they're also saying that C&M forgot to put that building in to the Michael Hezarkhani footage. So that's the basic points, is the lampposts, the Rector Street building, and the trees being obscuring the view. Should have obscured the view in the Michael Hezarkhani video. Now I'm just going to explore that a little bit, and I'm going to use their video here, which I've got up. What I did was I created a datum line which sits across this building. There's an actual, like a darker edge line in the video footage and in Michael Hezarkhani, so I've put that line in to work off a datum, so we can work from that building, the Whitehall building. And as you can see, I've listed them as A, B, C and D in both shots there. Now what we're looking for is, with the datum line, is building A sits below, quite well below the datum line, and building building B does as well, and C, and D sits just under it. Now that's in the BS Registration video. Now building A with the datum line here sits just above it. Same with this building there, just on the line. Building B, and C, that sits just below it, and building D, which they say is missing, but you can see the straight edge, hidden by this tree. You can just see that straight edge. That building's above, which it's just sitting on the line in this one, in BS registrations. And also this brown building here, that's sitting just under the tip of that, so it's sort of, you can't really see it in BS registrations. So what can we draw from that there, using the datum line, and the tree lines being different? What we draw from that is that the BS registration video, which we know was at ground level, see the Castle Clinton monument and all the trees, people at ground level, and the Michael Hezarkhani video here, because of the shifting buildings sitting, you know, level and just above, tells us, and the branches as well, that he was in an elevated position when he was videoing his footage. Now I'm just going to show you here two comparisons from somebody who was on a ferry and what it looks like, and the Michael Hezarkhani video. So let's just look. I'm going to go through it. Building A, you can see over here, I should have put the datum line in, but this black marker there, they're sitting virtually the same. And building B, there's a slight gap there though, because the ferry here in this person in 2017 is 15 feet to 20 feet to the left of where Michael Hezarkhani's was perspective. So we've also got building C, which is missing in 2017 because it was taken down due to problems with the steel structure, but we can see building C here, which would have been level. So if we go to building D, the Rector Street building, that's sitting just above there, which is the same here, just there, you see the straight edge. Building E matches up, and building F. So this is a match, this is an excellent comparison to use. We've also got the wall down here, the Castle Clinton wall. You can just about see the wall, straight edge of the wall, which you can see here, highlighted with the light. We also have a person's head here, and here, and another one there, and another two people here, which is sort of level with the wall. Now just under. So this is an excellent comparison, and you can see the tree line, which I've outlined in the boxes here. They match up. There, you see that tree there, and the tree lines characteristics here. Got the missing bit there, and if this video still image here would have been 15 foot to the right, this particular gap there would have shifted level with the Michael Hezarkhani one. But the tree line is the same. They all match up. There, and there. Now, this is taken in an elevated position, which proves that the Michael Hezarkhani video was taken in an elevated position. Okay. So that's how we know Michael Hezarkhani was in an elevated position. Now I'm just going to go back to the BS registration video. Now, in this comparison, at 2 minutes 52 in the video, they overlay the Michael Hezarkhani video to show that these trees don't match up. But what they've got wrong here is the trees in the Michael Hezarkhani video are not these trees, and this location further towards this building just there is actually in front of the Castle Clinton building. So this comparison, as I'm going to show in a minute, you can't really use these two as a comparison, these locations, because they're different locations and they're a different set of trees altogether, as I'm going to show now. So this is the picture they use, the image in BS registrations image, and this is the picture off Google Earth of these trees here, and the monument used to be here. This small monument used to be in this location, and how I found this location was I did some digging around on the internet, and you can find some characteristics like in the building, the Castle Clinton building here, these square recesses, and you got this small monument. So I was able to find that and locate it. So this is where the monument actually is. I've obscured it a little bit though with this symbol. It's in front of the doorway to the Castle Clinton monument, and here's the square recess which I mentioned earlier, just there. So if you dissect them two lines, it gives you this view here. So the camera position on this picture is actually from over here, looking across. So the monument would have been there, and these are the tree line, the actual trees which are in this picture here, and the monument. And if you just look above, I'm going to give an aerial view here. These are the trees, the monument's there, the Castle Clinton building is there. The camera would have been here looking at the monument and these trees. Now Michael Hezarkhani is on the ferry here, and the trees in his video are along here. Okay, so the monument and the person taking the picture there is in this location, and Michael Hezarkhani's video is taken in this location. So you can't compare these trees and these trees like they're doing in the video here. You can't use this as a comparison. It's two completely different locations, as I've just demonstrated. So I'll show another view here. So you got the ferry boat here, which Michael Hezarkhani was on in an elevated location, which was docked at Battery Park. And these are the tree lines here in his video. Here's the Whitehall building and the Brown building. Now this video, still image from BS registration video, these trees are here. The monument is here in front of the Castle Clinton building. The doorway which was in front, which I've shown here and here. You can actually see the monument there now, not obscured. And as I've shown on the plan view here, monuments there, trees, camera person there in front of the Castle Clinton. Michael Hezarkhani's here, tree lines there. So two, quite a fair distance between each other, really. But in BS registration video, he's comparing these two locations. You can't do that. They're not the same trees, so you can't really use that as a comparison. I'll just give you a better view here. So the monument would have been here in BS registration's video with these trees in front of the monument, Castle Clinton building. Michael Hezarkhani would have been here on the ferry, and it's these set of trees here that are in his video, not these ones as they claim in BS registrations. Been re-uploaded by No Planer TV. I just want to go to this video because this really is where things started, with the comments with Ryan, and it's 6 minutes 42 seconds in, and it's Peggy Carter, or Pearl, whichever name she uses now, and she's basically saying here essentially that September clues is the best evidence to prove fraud of video fakery on 9/11. So we just listen to what she says here.
They all knew about the research on the simulation, the plane simulation on television, because the September Clues video series had already come out, and many people who watched that series were obviously convinced by it, because it is actually the best evidence for the fraud. But
Okay, now Peggy Carter there says that September Clues is the best evidence of the fraud. So I'm just going to challenge that a little bit, because I asked Ryan, I posted a link to Ryan here, to have a look at some of the links that I'd shown to do with Simon Shack, proving him to be either mistaken or putting out disinformation, and a lot of the points made in his September Clues videos are incorrect. Now, he chose to ignore that evidence for some reason. That I gave him the links in the comments, and it doesn't appear that he's gone and even read any of that. Also, I don't think he'd be feeling quite as much respect as he put it for Simon Shack. And I'm not quite sure about Peggy Carter, why she still promotes Simon Shack stuff. But just gonna have a look. We'll just have a quick look at what I have written about Simon Shack. And I brought this particular point up on when I was on Richard D. Hall's show regarding Simon Shack. And it's to do with the Norday brothers footage, where Simon Shack claimed a black gash is actually made in the building and stretches out, sort of appears out of nowhere 15 seconds after the plane impact. Now, I did a quite detailed analysis on this on his 9/11 Amateur Part 2, and it's pretty undeniable evidence, this is, that he's either got it wrong, or Simon Shack has deliberately put this out to mislead people, and that's for other people to decide. I know where I stand on that, and it's not just a one-off where I stand on it. I've gone through his work, and there appears to be a pattern which appears to look deliberate, or he's either getting it wrong time and time again. So let's just go back to this. Okay, so essentially what he's saying here is that the plane-shaped hole was made bigger. That to make it bigger because it was only 130 feet, and they used some type of photoshopping to do this, to fix the problem here. Now, he says, can we verify it? We have to take Simon Shack's word, don't we, in his video? Yes, we can, he says. So, and then he goes to a clip 11 minutes later showing where it's disappeared. Now, this is quite deceptive, because I had a look at some other evidence, and you can see this black mark here on several other photos, and in this video, which just started videoing literally like 5 to 10 seconds after the plane impact. And I've actually spoke to this videographer, by the way, and I've posted the conversation. Legitimate videographer, very honest person. From what I had a conversation from him, you know, so there's no reason why we shouldn't believe what we're seeing here. And it's got the black gashing, but it's actually fumes or smoke coming out of a broken window or escaping from somewhere in the building, and the wind's blowing that across, because it's blowing all the fumes that way, as you can see, carries this fumes across there. Okay, now several seconds later you can see it change colour. It's coming from here somewhere. It changes colour from the black to more of a grey white, and then dissipates completely. And you can actually watch that happen in the video which I posted there. Now, that has nothing to do with video fakery. That's this article proves it had nothing to do with video fakery, as Simon Shack claims, which Peggy Carter in this video claims it's the best evidence to prove fraud. And you know, being honest, the only fraud I see is in this actual September Clues. This is wrong. It's not right. And this isn't just a one-off. This is in September Clues addendum, when he's doing about the helicopter, Pat the helicopter. There's numerous times where he's either manipulated people's footage, the helicopters here, Now this is in the original video, in the Fernandez video, which was posted 2 years before Simon Shack's video, and you can clearly see the helicopter there. There's no doubt about that. But Simon Shack in the identical frame. Posted in 2009. Hers was 2007. He says it's gone. This is in the zoom out shot. He says it's gone. You can see the helicopter still in there. There's a close up. Shack says it's gone. Even in the zoomed out even further, the helicopter's still there. So has Simon Shack removed that helicopter? Because it's still in the original video, the Fernandez video, it's still there, even in the zoomed out. But what he's playing on here is actually laws of optics. He's exploiting this because cameras, when you fully zoom out, the helicopter should disappear, as we see in this video here. Legitimate video. I know the person who filmed this video. It's legitimate. It's an experiment. And what you're going to see is a helicopter disappearing. Let me just run past. You can watch this if you go to my blog page, and you'll see the experiment. So you got it's actually a police helicopter, funny enough. So as the camera zooms out, it doesn't register in the lens. Because the further you zoom out, the lens cannot register the small object. I'll replay that again in a moment in slow motion, you'll see. Now, this is just laws of optics. This is the camera's lens cannot register that small object as it zooms out. Picks it up as it zooms in. We see this again in the Fox footage with the news cameras.
And then we're going to zoom to the top of the screen. See this little guy up here at the top? That's a helicopter. That's probably a news helicopter, and it's flying around in the picture. Okay. Now what happens is, as the camera, I'm playing this backwards so you can watch what happens when the camera zooms out. Because here's what's going to happen. These cameras have very low quality lenses. In fact, the lenses are defocused in order to blur fine detail. In fact, the cameras are designed to eliminate fine detail so they can compress the video without having a lot of noise and fine edge detail. It's designed to filter out fine detail, and when I zoom out, I'm playing the video backwards, you can watch that helicopter just completely disappear off the screen. You see that?
Yeah.
So there you have it. Laws of optics. As you zoom away, small objects, they don't register on the lens, the video lens or the camera lens. Now Simon Shack's played on this here and here, but what he's cleverly done in this bit, he's not showing you. This is how far you really are zoomed out. This is the portion Simon Shack uses. What he doesn't show you, which is very revealing, he doesn't show you the 42 seconds prior. So he doesn't show you this helicopter coming in 42 seconds before. He's completely omitted this in his film. And what he does here, he's going to exploit the camera zooming out where the helicopter disappears, because the laws of optics again, the camera lens cannot register small objects from that type of distance, as we've seen in the two videos I've shown here and here. So what he does is he exploits this. So it looks like you're quite zoomed in quite close there, false perspective, but when you look, you zoomed out quite a lot. So you're not going to pick that helicopter up, but he shows you as that. Where was Pat in the live TV? Okay, well, Pat was in the live TV, Simon Shack, because here he is. Here, there, and there until he disappears, and that's 42 seconds before, because the camera is zooming out. Though the video clip taken 42 seconds prior, it's here again, I'll show you. And you can see what happens. Just skip it on. So there's Pat, look. Now this video footage Simon Shack completely omits from his film to try and prove a false point that the helicopter's missing. So the camera's zooming out, and it will zoom out so far until that helicopter doesn't register in the video camera's lens anymore. So what Simon Shack actually does is cut this bit out and blow it up just to make it look that way, and he's done it again and again here, and then he cuts away here. You don't want you to see as it zooms back in again, which it does after the collapse. There's the helicopter right there. Just have a look at that. So this is it zooming back in.
But there was another explosion on the far side of one of the buildings.
There's a helicopter there flying away.
The reverberation and another explosion on the right hand.
So I'll just mute that. So what he's done there is, there's Pat the helicopter. Now Simon Shack has deliberately omitted the zooming in after the collapse, and he's completely omitted the zooming out where Pat was in the footage. Now that is deceptive. So there's all these articles which people should be reading and not ignoring. I don't know if Peggy Carter would feel different after watching that, because she's claimed in this video, all these years later, that it's Simon Shack's film September Clues is the best in evidence to prove fraud. Couldn't disagree more. And it tells me she's either ignoring my articles proving that he's deliberately misled people or got it wrong, and I think maybe Ryan should read my articles, or maybe Peggy should read the articles and see if they still feel the same. And that's all I've really got to say about it, because I can't discuss it any further until you read what I've wrote and pointed out regarding Simon Shack's September Clues film. And then they have to come to a decision. They'll either agree with me or they'll disagree.